Yeah, we're getting you all of these images right now, where there's also an interaction that's happening with the Indian contingent, the military contingent that's present there. Great to see you also. You can see the Punjab regiment and other representatives there. Gaurav, what a moment this is. You know, the moment when, in fact, a marching contingent is out there, part of this parade. Beautiful, beautiful images. And now this interaction that we're playing out live, where the French president is being introduced to our regiment.
Well, this Punjab regiment has a historical role that France acknowledges with great pride and gratitude. And there are pictures that have been put out, of the Punjab regiment being here in the First World War and having shed blood for protection of the people. In fact, these are some of the images that are actually going viral even in France. So, of the 140,000 Indian soldiers who fought in the First World War, 9,000 were killed. 163 cemeteries here have graves of those 9,000 Indian soldiers who made the supreme sacrifice of their lives for protection of people of France. So France realizes that these soldiers, after completing their march past here, the Punjab regiment soldiers from Champs-Élysées will travel to Nova Chapelle, where those sacrifices were made, where there is a separate ceremony that is being organized for them by the mayor, by the people of that city. They would be, interacting with them. They would be expressing their gratitude. And this is a two-way street, Akshita, because the Punjab regiment soldiers also told us that for them, this is such a big responsibility. The fact that their ancestors, as they put it, they said in a conversation with India Today, Captain Jagtap, he said, हमारे पूर्वजों ने यहाँ अपने प्राणों का सर्वोच्च बलिदान दिया. Their ancestors made the supreme sacrifice of their lives on this territory, and that is where they are marching today. That is where they're taking their legacy forward. So that is where they're not only holding their regiment's head high, they're holding India's head high, and something that France recognizes in gratitude, Akshita.
So all of the top representatives present there as a part of this meet and greet at the end of what was a very successful and fabulous Bastille Day parade, one that both India and France won't forget immediately, and of course the repercussions of which we will all feel with regards to the ties between India and France. And there you have that hug between Prime Minister Modi and President Macron. The warmth, Gaurav, between these two leaders has been on display for the last 2 days, and there you have the goodbye from Prime Minister Modi and President Macron. Prime Minister Modi making his way back after being a part of this 2-hour-long parade, Gaurav.
And from this point on, absolutely. So, this was the symbolic part of the visit, where the Prime Minister was the guest of honor at the Bastille Day parade. And moments from now, you'll see the Prime Minister's cavalcade cross this area where we are. The Prime Minister now heads to the Assembly, where he will be having lunch with members of Parliament and the President of the Assembly here. After that, he would be meeting the President of France, and that's where the bilateral talks begin in the right earnest. Bilateral talks first at the level of the two heads of state and government, and then the delegations. After that, there are fireworks, then that Louvre, and everyone's talking about the state banquet at the Louvre. There are 250 guests. This museum, which has lakhs and lakhs of artifacts from across the world. There's a section of this that has been, where there would be a special event for the Prime Minister. There'll be 250 guests in attendance, and here we see the Prime Minister's cavalcade moving out, his security detail following the Prime Minister's car as he moves now to the National Assembly, which is just across the road. It's barely 5 minutes from here that the Prime Minister will go to the National Assembly, but later in the evening, and then the Bastille Day fireworks. So from the ramparts of the Louvre, the Prime Minister and the French President and their delegation will look at fantastic fireworks that have been planned for later tonight.